right. And speaking of the fourth quarter, I mean, in fourth quarter, Game 6, 1988, you guys paid off the officials. Lampier never fouled Kareem, did he?
He got him underneath. You have to understand the trickery. You have to understand the tricky. It looked clean up top, but he had that big belly just bumping up against Kareem and pull him off down. Everybody knew that.
There's no way. There's no way.
I had the same argument with Isaiah and John Sally. Just give it up, guys. It was a foul.
No, wait, what? It was never a foul. I'm curious. How much did you hate playing them?
Well, I didn't hate playing Detroit. I mean, for me, after playing the Celtics in the 80s, I was pretty much ready for anybody. And, much respect to, John Daly and the team he's put together there. But I didn't hate playing against them. It was fun. I mean, they called themselves the Bad Boys, and we were just the Lakers who had pretty much dominated the 80s. So we were just work as usual for us.
So you go by the name, or at least people call you Big Game James. And I know my wife is listening. She's grew up a Lakers fan, her brother, her dad, and the moments that you provided your fans.
Smart people.
What was it about the big games that helped you perform so well? Because you averaged more in those games. You had those key moments at the end of games. What was it about the big games that excited you and brought out the best in you?
Well, when you're traveling regular season, I remember, schedules where I had Larry Bird on a Sunday, took Monday off, going to New York, had Bernard King on a Tuesday, only to follow up and have Dr. J on a Wednesday back-to-back game. So, when you're traveling regular season, it's a tough schedule. But when you get a team for 7 games, and that's all you have to focus on is a couple of players, you're not traveling as much, you should enhance your percentages in everything. So I always thought like that. I had a lot of video on Rodman. I had a lot of video on Mahorn and Spider. I was just watching it, and I was ready, because I only had to focus on that one team. And while we were sitting in that Embassy Suites out there in Detroit, I was just watching film. And I knew that I only had a couple of days off in between. So, yeah, regular season is a little different. And also the sense of urgency. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be on the losing side. So all that innate, anxiety and fear, you have to channel that somewhere. Sometimes it channels into an air ball, or sometimes it channels into, win an MVP.
James Worthy joins us on the Stoney and Jansen program. Now, we have to remind everybody that, yes, you won that series in Game 7, whatever, with the phantom foul. That could be argued. But the following year, the Pistons did sweep you guys.
Yeah, we were without players, of course. We had Kareem was older, Magic was hurt, Byron was hurt. I still dropped 40 on you guys in that last game.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You should have won. You should have won. And hey, I'll give you this too. I'll give you this. Now, I'm not saying the outcome would have been different, but remember, Isaiah was hurt in 88.
Yeah.
Remember, he sprained his ankle. So that was not good for Detroit. But yeah, we always gave Detroit credit.
I know.
They were a little bit better than the Celtics after 85. They were the younger, better defenders. And yeah, I'm not sure if, I always think we win no matter who we play, but that 89 year, they would have had a lot of incentive, which they did. And they were the better team.
Now,
I don't mind saying that.
Now, this might be controversial because I enjoy it, even though I know it was a little bit of a embellishment. What did you think of Winning Time? Did you watch it at all? I mean, I know the season was before you got to the Lakers, but what do you think?
I always, man, when I have lived something and I have all the facts and the data in my head and I know all the personnel, I don't watch it because, I live in Hollywood and, I understand satire. And satire is cool until it drops in your lap. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you just kind of chill and let it go. People are enjoying it. Let them enjoy it. I don't really I'm not watching it. because I lived it and I know all the personalities in there. So it'll be whatever it will be. It's all good with me.
So you just mentioned you lived it, and obviously you were a champion at every level. You had great success, and I always wonder, because I have my own, not as many championships, obviously, but I have my own memories, favorite moments. Do you have, when you think about your career, whether it was college or in the NBA, do you have a favorite moment that you look back and it just always brings a smile?
Well, I won everything except a high school championship, and my hometown friend Sleepy Floyd denied me that one. They beat us, but I got him back.
Yes, you did.
In 1982.
Yes, you did.
Against Georgetown, which was Coach Smith's first college championship against another great coach, John Thompson. So that was a memorable moment. But I would have to say, over the long run, the Celtics dominated the Lakers throughout the 60s and 70s. I think they beat them like 7 times. Jerry West never won. Wilt Chamberlain never won. Pat Riley, Gail Goodrich, they never defeated the Celtics. So I think when we lost to the Celtics in 1984, I really thought that they had a leprechaun, or that lucky mystique was really true. But we were able to win the only championship on that parquet floor in 1985. And so we knew we were not only representing ourselves, but we were representing all those years, Baylor, Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, Chick Hearn, all the fans who just, devastated. You know how those Boston fans, they just let you have it. So we finally got that one. And to me, that one was the beginning for me of, winning a couple of more and really, satisfying that history.
A couple things before we let you go, James Worthy joining us. What do you think of the NBA today with the advent of increased three-point shooting, and what the hell's wrong with the Lakers?
Yeah, I mean, when I started watching basketball, I remember watching Oscar Robertson. I was vaguely like 10 or 11 years old. And when I got to college, the game was still the same. Pick and roll, defense was still played the same. You could play with your forearm as long as you didn't extend it. You could box people out. You could play a little physical. And I think because of the rush of guys not going to college. I mean, Kareem had 4 years with John Wooden. Michael Jordan and I had 3 years with Dean Smith. Isaiah had some years with Bobby Knight. So you learn the fundamentals. Not only that, you learn how to live. You learn how to balance your freaking checkbook in college. There's a lot of things. So when you don't get that, guys are coming to the NBA. They're not fundamentally sound. So all they do is practice threes, lift weights, get tattoos, and tweet and go on social media. That's it. So you don't have that sound player. You have an athletic player. And that's what's happening to the game. I mean, it's a lot of ISO and looking for mismatches. Bill Russell told me one time, they had 5 options off of one play. And you don't see that anymore. You see it in the WNBA because they don't play above the rim and it's not athletic. Your Laker question, the Lakers, I think they have refused to build over the years. We've had some good players, Ingram, Randall, Ball. We have tried to win quickly. When Kobe's last few years, we brought in Nash, who was a little bit older. Dwight Howard came in with a back injury. And we trade away draft picks to try to win immediately. And I think they're going to have to really think about, how they need to build. When you look at Memphis, when you look at the way Boston's playing right now, when you look at the way Milwaukee has built a team over time. So and it's been trending in that direction. Yeah, we won a couple years ago, but we need to create players that have cohesiveness. I mean, we had it a couple years ago. We traded it all away to try to win, to try to match what Brooklyn was doing to try to match what other teams are doing with their big three players. I think that's going to go away. That's an illusion. Having that big three. You see what happened in Brooklyn. You see what happened with the Lakers. Even though everyone experienced injuries, not an excuse. Still should be playing better, or you should definitely be in the playoffs. So the Lakers have a lot. It's embarrassing and it's unacceptable.
All right, James, thanks a lot. We really appreciate it. It's m3link.com. There's a forum tomorrow. Go on it and get involved. We really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
You got it, guys.